Okay, we're at 2645 Bluebell Road, and we got a oak tree, a pin oak that is splitting out. You can see the split right there, and it's going all the way down, and this thing's about ready to go. Here we are, day 2. Look at that hole. That is gross. That thing was ready to go. That's for sure. Look at that down there. It was cracking all the way down. Leaning right over their house. We definitely saved the house, that's for sure. So there we are, 90 feet up here in Corvallis, off of Bluebell Road. There's Walnut right there. Yeah, pretty good day at the office. So we're just now wrapped up with getting the rest of this tree worked out, and thought I'd boom up here and give you guys a good look at the valley. Pretty awesome office. I'll tell you, there's nothing that beats this. Coming to work and working in this. So I'll show you what we got below. That's the rest of it. I'll probably take that white rope and move it down about halfway, because that's the rest of that spar there that was breaking out. I went and jiggled that rope just to see how much tension was on it, and that whole spar was just pretty gross. So yeah, I'll move another rope down below, tighten it up first, and then I'll slack this rope off, and then we'll chunk it down. Chunk it down, Charlie Brown. Okay, so I just got done getting some fuel. Just got wrapped up on that job. Oh, I tell you, it feels really good to be done with that. Oh man, I feel like vlogging kind of keeps you sane a little bit. It's kind of, I wonder why, that must be why NASA and all those guys make their people do that, because you're by yourself working for so long, sometimes you kind of go a little stir crazy, so it's kind of nice to be able to talk to yourself a little bit. Anyway, it was amazing that we were able to save that house and get that work done before that tree fell on the house. Anyhow, as I was saying, oh, it feels really good to be done with that tree. The amazing thing is that yesterday, when I got that call, I was literally just pulling in and backing into my driveway to park my truck, and you know, I see my wife and my kids, and my wife always does this cool thing where she kicks the gate open for me, so I don't have to open the gate. I just text her when I'm heading home, and then she'll swing the gate open, and you know, she'll plan dinner accordingly. So it was just really cool to pull up, you know, and you see your wife and your kids all playing, you know, and they're, "Daddy," super happy to see you, and then you get the call, you know, and you're like, oh, so tired. Yesterday I was doing some just real menial stuff. I guess menial is not really the name for it, but I actually really enjoy it. But doing like some just really small fruit trees and pruning them for fruit production, and getting rid of some aphids. They had a little bit of the leaf curl going on with the aphids, so I was treating them for that and doing a trim job on it. And then after that job, I went over and just doing some arborvitaes with just a hedge trimmer. And about halfway through the day, you know, I started feeling that pukey feeling, like I was getting heat exhaustion again. And I had a heat stroke a couple years back, and then after you had that, it's weird. Sometimes I'm fine, and then the problem is I don't stop. I just keep going and going and going, and I don't take the time to stop and actually drink a little bit of water and eat some food. I'll just work the whole day straight without taking any breaks, and that's got to stop, because that's going to kill me. So yesterday, about halfway through the day, I ended up having to like lay in the grass for about a half hour and just kind of pass out to recuperate from the heat. And then I got home and I was just shot, just super tired. I've just been running up and down a ladder all day. But so I got in the driveway, and I got the call, and the guy's like, "How far are you out? Are you I'm in Corvallis, where do you live?" And I told him, "Oh, I live in Lebanon." He's like, "Oh, you're too far out. My tree's falling right now, and it's gonna hit my house." And so in that moment, you know, I don't even think about it. I just do it. I just took off. I just put the truck back in drive, and waved at my wife and said, "Bye, I love you," and then just tore off. And then I told him I'm on my way. And I got about halfway there and realized I was almost out of gas, so I just pulled over real quick and I threw in, I got a little 5-gallon jug. I just threw that in the side real quick, and then lady says we'll back off again on the road again. And I was just going so fast, I thought I was going to get a ticket for sure. And by the time I got into Corvallis, he had called me again, and he was just, you could tell the urgency in his voice when he was saying, "This is going to go, it's going to go right now. I'm just going to fall it. I'm just going to fall it side to fall it, instead of letting it hit the house. We got to do something." And so I just told him, "Just sit tight, I'm 10 minutes out. I'm 10 minutes out. I'll be there as fast as I can." I said, Don't just follow it. You might make it worse, you know, you might kill yourself. And so I got there just in time. And it's kind of funny that they call us tree surgeons on the internet, interwebs. Like you can't even like on Google, you can't even like list your service as a tree service. You have to list it as like a tree surgeon. But anyhow, it kind of had a funny correlation because when I rolled up, I just came flying up and slammed the brakes and slapped it into park and jumped out of the truck and grabbed my climb bag and was like, where's she at? And I just ran to the backyard, you know, and I got in the backyard and threw out my foldable cube and started throwing my throw line up in the air to try to nail a crotch. And I'm just praying. I'm just like, oh, Abba, let me hit this first shot. Let me hit this. And I throw the throw line up there and I nailed it first shot and pulled a hand line up into the tree. And literally as I'm pulling it up the tree, this thing is just popping and cracking and the wind is blowing into the wrong direction. And I thought it was going to go right over. I'm like looking for an escape route, and I'm telling everybody, get back, it's going to go, it's going. And then a little lull in the wind, and then all of a sudden I pull the rope through as fast as I can, and I basil anchor it, and I go over to a tree in the back. There's nothing to tie into, but there's a few small fir trees in the back, so I set up like a 5-to-1 mechanical advantage. You know, after I got it through a porter wrap, I just like sucked it up as much as I could, and then just the amount of pressure that I was able to put on it with almost my hand, just pulling on the rope, was enough to stop the tree from popping and cracking. It was amazing that it was just popping and it was at the cotominant stem, so it was like popping out like that. But with just the throw line basil anchored on it and my hand holding onto the rope, it was slowing it down enough to where it wasn't going. So we put the 5-to-1 mechanical advantage on it, and we tensioned it up, and then we could breathe a little bit. So after that, you know, it was amazing that, you know, and then the homeowner just comes out and he just grabbed my hand. He's, thank you, you saved my life, you saved my life, you saved my home. And that right there was just kind of like, wow, you know, I was just sitting in my driveway and I was honestly contemplating just not answering that call, just not picking the phone up, just kind of like, oh my God, I'm gonna go lay down and call a few hospitals and take a nap. But instead I went there, and the Creator gave me enough time to, and he controlled the wind enough to where it didn't blow that top over, you know. I was literally within a few seconds of that huge tree hitting the house. The incredible thing is that I was sitting in my driveway just contemplating not answering the call, and when I got there and I answered the call, it just worked out perfectly to where everything went just right, and the tree didn't fall on this house. And on the other side there was an apartment complex with like 8 apartments, and that side of the tree was even bigger than the other side. So I mean, there's houses on both sides, and this thing's splitting out and getting ready to fall on both houses. It was a big tree. It would have done a lot of damage. So pardon me, I'm very tired. Get home. Okay. Anyhow, yeah, I got, and then once we had it secured, you know, there's no way I could climb this thing. So, and there's no way you could get a bucket truck to it. So I just started calling everybody, and they were calling other tree companies left and right, trying to get somebody to show up, and no one was answering the phone. And I called everybody I knew to try to find out if I could get a backyard lift, and no one was answering the phone, no one was picking up. And then finally my buddy calls me, and he's like, hey, I saw you call, what's going on, you know? And I told him the scenario, and he's like, okay, come rent mine. And so I hightailed it to his place and grabbed his machine after I threw a couple more ropes up in the tree to make sure it wasn't going to fall over while I was gone, and started getting to work on it. and we got her done. And everybody went home safe. And that homeowner didn't have to buy a new house. That thing would have demolished the house. It would have made a wreck of it for sure. That was a heavy tree. So yeah, good times. I thank the Creator that He put that in front of me, and that I just decided at that moment to be a useful tool, you know, to be useful. So yeah, I mean, you can't say yes always, but I mean, like I passed up my neighbor's tree. This black locust right here. See that black locust? That one right there? Yeah. She had some kid come out. Sorry. She had some kid come out, and the guy was like a logger or something like that, and there's a power line growing next to it, going right next to it, and the kid puts a face and a back cut in it, and then the tree sits back on his saw. So they throw like a cheap like rope that you get from like Weimart. Just like a boat rope. They throw that into it and suck it up a little bit, enough to get his saw back out of it, and then he walks away from it because he doesn't know what to do with it. So I don't even know what to do with that project. I'll have to go by there and take a look. But oh my goodness, yeah, I'm just looking at that, and that rope's like 10 feet off the ground too, and that's not doing nothing. That tree's going over. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to go over there and take a look at that one. I was supposed to do that yesterday, and so she's probably mad at me because I was supposed to go do that yesterday, but I ended up getting that storm call. So okay, talk to you later. See that? That's exactly what I was talking about right there. Happy family coming out to greet Daddy. They're all pumped to see me, coming to hook me up to the chipper. What a happy family. I tell you, there's nothing better in life than kids and a happy family.